All right, Randy Walker here for the R. Walker Travel YouTube channel. There goes the number 7 train, the number 7 subway train. I'm going to the US Open, and I got off a stop early at 111th Street here in Queens. It's the stop before where you get off for the US Open. That stop is Mets Willets Point. But I sometimes get off at this stop for a couple of reasons. Number one is it's when you get off the Mets Willets Point subway station, it sometimes can be really crowded getting off and walking on that boardwalk. And I'm kind of a fast walker, Randy Walker, the fast walker. So I kind of like to do this where it's a little less crowded. I'll explain more after I walk through the subway station here, so you can get a little flavor of Queens subway twin style. So yeah, so it can be a little bit of a crowd there, and as the subway rolls down the track, Dunkin' Donuts, Caesar's Pizza. So anyway, it can be a little crowded. So I mean, not that that's a big deal, but I do like to get a little flavor of Queens, as you'll be getting right here. All sorts of shops, sandwich shops, Metro T-Mobile, 79-cent, 99-cent store. They do have those in New York City. Laundromat. This is a great looking sports bar. See that? The sun. So, yeah, no, just getting a little flavor of Queens. This is looks like another fun little Mexican restaurant. But Queens is, as the subway rolls up top, just put on my backpack a little bit, but there's also a little flavor of the diversity here. A lot of things in Spanish, but Queens is the most diverse area in the country, if not the world. So it's really interesting to go through here and just check out all the different cultures of Queens. Now, when you go to when you go to the US Open, you're usually like in Manhattan. You take the 7 train, and you get off at Mets Willets Point, and that's basically all you get to see of Queens is, the grounds of the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. But this is Queens, New York, and there was a study, and there's been some articles written that the US Open brings an amazing amount of revenue to New York City. It is like more than the Mets, Yankees, Jets, and Giants combined. The economic impact is just through the roof. But most of that economic impact is in New York City, and it's not in Queens. So trying to find efforts to, bring an economic impact here to Queens is certainly something important. I do my little part. I'll sometimes duck into a grocery store and buy some food, etc. on the way, on the way, to the open or from the open. But yeah, I think it would be good if there were some ways to, just get more of an economic impact into these areas of New York City and Queens. So another reason why I get up this stop, and it's not for everybody, because I'm not sure if you're a regular ticket holder, if you can get access to the grounds from this side of the stadium. There's somebody with a little smoking some beef there on the grill. I can smell it. It smells good. So I'm privileged to have a media credential. So I am able to slide in on the side entrance, by the President's Gate. It's about the same walk. Here's the highway. Gosh, I forgot to Google what the name of the highway was again, but Van Wyck maybe, or the Grand Central Parkway. I can't remember. That abuts the tennis center a little bit down there. But anyway, back to what I was saying. You can, just walk and get through the President's Gate area. And for me, that's a little bit closer to the media room, where I can just duck in there immediately and go off to the court I want to go to. So, if I want to see a match immediately on, like, say, the grandstand or, courts 4, 5, or 6, or court 7, I'll usually walk this way. If I want to see a match that's at 11 a.m. on that court, on those courts, then I'll sometimes go this way, just because, it's just a little bit of a shorter walk. I mean, when you have to, walk through the crowds of the boardwalk, and, you'll see some of my other videos. The boardwalk also is getting very damaged. I mean, it's a safety hazard waiting to happen. You could trip and fall there. They tried to improve it a little bit this year, but the whole thing needs to be redone. So that's a little bit awkward. And then you have, a little bit longer line. There's the subway again. And right over there is Citi Field, where the New York Mets play, and the Mets are playing today. So there is there's some fans. I'm not sure where they're going. I'm wondering if you're a fan, if you can walk through that way. I'll have to try that one time when I'm not in a hurry. But this is my route here. I forgot what I was saying. When you walk through the boardwalk, and then when you do the entrance there, it's a little more crowded. And then you have to walk through the crowds, through Louis Armstrong, the shadow of Louis Armstrong Stadium, through kind of the food court area and that plaza, that walkway there, then in front of the Arthur Ashe Stadium Plaza, the Fountain Plaza, and then get to the media room. So it's a little bit of a walk. And, I talked about earlier, I posted on my at Tennis Publisher Twitter that, when you're walking through the grounds of the U.S. Open when it's crowded, it's kind of like that old video game Frogger, where you're, trying to avoid getting run over. So that's an issue when you're walking through the grounds, and I have to walk through all the grounds to get through to, the media center. So there's not much of a Frogger situation here. Going this route. That's a beautiful site there, Arthur Ashe Stadium. In the background, can you see that with the big Chase logo on the top of the stadium? When the stadium was first built, there was some conversation that it would potentially be called Chase Stadium. and they couldn't. They didn't do the deal. They couldn't do the deal when the stadium was done, and they were just going to call it USTA Stadium. But a lot of grassroots efforts were made to have it be named Arthur Ashe Stadium. Led by a chorus of people, including my former boss, the late great Paige Crossland, who worked internally to get the stadium named Arthur Ashe Stadium, and also Bill Simons, who is the owner and publisher of Inside Tennis Magazine. He was just really one of the great long-time tennis writers, and just somebody who cares a lot about the game and the history and so forth. I mean, he's a real protector of the integrity of the game, and Bill deserves a lot of credit. I mean, he wrote letters and flew to meet board members, and so forth. So Bill and Paige and Doug Smith, former USA Today tennis writer who grew up with Arthur in segregated Richmond, and Bud Collins as well. Those were some of the advocates for Arthur Ashe Stadium. So anyway, this video was supposed to be more about walking to the US Open, through Queens. So but they're more fancy. I'm not sure where they get in though. There we go. Welcome. So you also got the big security here too. I may just end the video here because I don't want these police officers to think that I'm videotaping for any kind of nefarious reason. So at this corner, I'll stop. Anyway, there you go. There's Arthur Ashe Stadium. Got some American flags. Got the beautiful entrance there, USTA National Tennis Center and Billie Jean King Center. Yeah, I'm not sure where all these fans are going to get in. But anyway, maybe I'll investigate that a little bit, how they get in, because this is kind of a more interesting route to get to the tennis, and maybe support some local Queens establishments. Go in and have a beer, get a pizza, get a cup of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, grab some fruit for your, hotel at your hotel later or whatever. So anyway, so that's it. Randy Walker for our Walker Travel YouTube channel. Over and out. Please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Talk to you later. Over and out.